All right, SPY continues to go higher. Mutual funds will not be able to sell until Friday, so just be aware of that. That doesn't mean that it's going to crash down, but again, you got to be aware of what's going on with the game. So again, they're going to have the year end is Friday, and after Friday, then we'll see what happens regarding how they're going to move this thing. So again, it could drift up. Again, be cautious if you're in stuff. Ride it up. I mean, quite honestly, this gave what, one bar. So pretty much ripped from the bottom, gave one bar that, I mean, this is not even the typical type of retracement that we like to look at. If we look back here, this was actually the one that was able to be taken easily. Say, okay, momentum came down, this breaks above this high, I'll give you a little higher low. And you could check my video on the 12, so you know that I'm not really BSing you. And I said, listen, if it breaks the low, we go down further. If it breaks the high, we can go up high, and I'll give a higher low from this one. So right now, again, stuff can continue to be moving to the upside, but again, be very, very aware that we got Fed tomorrow, which they can drift, which is usually very corny action. They can drift it until the announcement, and also that these mutual funds have year end in October. That stuff is very, very crucial to at least have in the back of your mind while you continue to move forward. The QQQ continues to go higher. It's going to be testing these areas again, just pretty much a V bottom without even any type of retracement, and it just continued this kind of continuation pattern. It's just continuing to the upside. So I mean, again, we'll see what happens tomorrow, but be very cautious because we have yep, Friday is their year end, so just be very, very careful what's going on. And again, you could say, oh, that doesn't mean anything. It might. Mutual funds are very, the big boys are definitely making sure that they're going to be sorted out. IWM actually increased volume tremendously and ripped to the upside. Again, you can see from the 30-minute, you can see that we have this price action that pretty much from the open, it gave this little sideways consolidation move and went to the high. Again, ignore this after hour stuff, and we'll see what happens again with the weekly. We are now looking to what we got, 1 2 3 4 5, just sideways. We still have these lows, so you got to be very cautious to say, okay, these still exist. This exists right there. This exists right there. Okay, just make sure you realize where the highs are. That doesn't mean that they can't get broken out, but you see that we have lower highs still in place. So we have to make sure that we're still keeping this stuff into consideration with the weekly. And you can also see the, well, I wouldn't say the weekly volume. We have to be very cautious with the weekly volume because this reversal came on strong volume. Again, it lightened up, and I wasn't, I'm not saying that I was even a cheerleader to say, oh, this is weak volume, because I was looking for shorts and stuff, especially right here. But it definitely gapped up, and then you get your stop taken out. And if you want to go long, you could say, okay, we'll see what kind of happens if it break above this high, and it broke and it continued. So, but again, be very cautious with what's going on with these mutual funds. And if you're swing trading, it's just a matter of, okay, if you got your profits, you got your setups, cool. If you don't just say, okay, it is what it is, I don't care, the Fed, because a lot of people get lazy around the Fed at earnings time, because if they hit one time, they're like, oh, okay, then I'll do this every time the Fed comes out. I know they're going to pretty much, they're not going to do anything. So basically, them not doing anything, meaning they're not going to stop their QE, stuff like that. I'm just going to keep playing it like that. It's just, don't get lazy. Okay, the lazy, as you get lazier and complacent, that's when stuff can sneak up on you. Apple's continuing to go higher. It really went past that had 104.50, and it's continuing to go higher, looking good. You got Google. Thought it was going to be, still got the separation from this high. You still got the lower volume in place, but it could go higher. Again, we want to see this key level of basically 573 broken before we say anything. And again, if we look at the higher time frame, you can see excuse me, that we just have not really been in a really good trend. So that's something that we also have to consider as well, is you know, we got a lot of this going on where it's just this, this, this. You know, this is not a good trend to me. That's something that I would not say, okay, this is not a good trend. So we have to see what's going on, and is this weakening, and maybe even pull out a monthly to say, okay, what's the monthly saying to you? Because it's not really saying much to me either. I mean, it could be kind of hard to say because you know, you can definitely see that this is bullish. If this is just sideways consolidation, you have to still have a bullish bias above 500, basically a 520 area, because you know the trend going into it is bullish. So you cannot negate what's going on. Again, this is monthly. A lot of guys don't look at that, but it's something that I do keep in mind sometimes when I'm looking at things. Tesla did exactly what I didn't think again. I said that this would have been a nice short. It looked weaker. Again, it gapped up and closed up. So the level that I'm looking at right now to say, okay, it needs to clear is basically this. Oops, I got the wrong thing. Basically this level right here. Okay, that's what we kind of really want to look at and say, okay, how is this going to really play out with this previous pivot right here? So gets above that, we'll see what happens. Again, you got a flag, continue to the upside. We'll also look at the weekly again to just make sure we're not seeing anything wrong, but we can see that the trend is, it came to this and again, we try to keep this a very KISS method. Damn, why do I keep doing this? Sorry guys. I try to keep this a very KISS method of just using these lows, and then once it breaks those, you know, it doesn't, you know, maybe if you even used right here, once it breaks below these lows, you say, okay, what's going on with the trend? We're starting to see some stuff that is not, I know that arrow is kind of messed up or whatever. We're kind of seeing some stuff going on, but again, it's creeping down or grinding down, and we'll see what happens. But again, the volume needs to pick up because the volume was very, very light last week. So that's pretty much it. Again, I want to say, and people might be like, you know, I'm not saying the boogeyman is coming to take your stock or to mess with your account, but please be aware of year end, because year end, all right, people, everybody's talking about the Fed announcement. That's cool. Yeah, year end for these mutual funds can be key. Okay, that they'll pull the rug from under you because they'll actually be able to send. They're not going to sell now because it's going to make their damn numbers look bad. But if they're going to sell, we want to see what happens next week. All right, take care.